So yeah, welcome. We'll start actually on our backs today. Recommend having a strap nearby. You can use a scarf, you can use a long sleeve shirt, you can use a sock. Have that just at hand, and you can make your way onto your back. Arriving here, just a full long stretch through the body, so extending arms overhead, spreading toes, lengthening through the legs. You can go wider in this position, big starfish stretch, opening and closing the mouth. One more breath. Relaxing the arms alongside the body. You can tuck the shoulders down away from the ears. Backs of the hands resting on the earth. Just letting them relax there. Legs long, feet wide, or knees bent if there's any low back tension. Starting with the face. Relaxing the forehead. Around the eyes. The jaw. Lips soft. Soften the tongue. Breathing through the nostrils, just noticing the breath there. Consciously opening up the inner throat, so creating space to receive your breath. As you relax the shoulders, the chest, softening into the ribs, starting to notice the breath there. Letting the belly be soft, observing the rise and the fall of the breath in the belly. Relaxing internal organs. Relaxing the pelvis. Softening the low back, releasing tension there. Relaxing the pelvic floor. Relaxing down the thighs to the knees, like a warmth spreading. So you soften shins and calves, ankles and feet. Just a moment to be here, the body relaxing, staying aware of the breath, the mind, just having that one point of focus on the breath. You can start to ask yourself what you need from this practice, letting that become your intention. As you're ready, just start to rock the head gently from side to side. Just notice range of motion, notice any natural stopping point. Massage the back of the skull into the earth. Just a few more times, gently, slowly rocking from side to side. waking up the cervical spine, so the upper spine. Back eventually through center. From here, slowly begin to bend one knee, then the other. Letting the feet plant, just resting. Just relaxes the hip flexors, the psoas, right at that hip crease. Noticing the natural curvature in the low spine. We want that as you just rest, inhaling. And as you exhale, tucking the tailbone, think about lengthening the spine as you draw the tailbone away from the crown of the head. And then inhale, finding softness, back to that state of ease. And then exhale, just that gentle tucking of the tailbone, flattening out the low back. Follow your own breath, just take your time. One more cycle of breath, deep inhalation, and a complete exhalation. And keeping the low back rounded, drawing the knees in towards the chest. Stay here for a moment. Think about widening the knees as much as is available to you. My hands supporting this, elbows heavy, head heavy. Relax the toes, relax the face. And then independently moving the knees, you can draw them in towards the chest, in towards one another, towards the midline of the body, pressing them away from you and then out towards the sides. Think about this as it's lubricating your joints, so making them more mobile, more supple. Moving slowly, intentionally. Start to move in the opposite direction. Take your time. Notice that natural tuck and tilt of the pelvis depending on the orientation of the knees. And then the next time you press the knees back together, back in more towards the self, take a little rock from side to side. Take your time here. This should just feel good. Increasing awareness and blood flow in the sacrum and the low back. You can press the knees further away from you, and that gets a little bit lower in the glutes. Knees a little closer. Notice the tailbone lifts, getting more of the upper low back, or the upper pelvis region. Another couple rocks from side to side. Again, it should all just feel good for you. And then as you come back through center, planting the feet. Arms relax alongside the body. Tucking through the tailbone once again, flattening the back, and then think about lengthening the spine as you lift the hips, inhale. And then as you exhale, scoop the breath, or scoop the spine, ride the breath down, allowing the tailbone to meet the mat very last. And then inhale, peeling the tailbone, peel the pelvis, more of the upper spine, peeling away, and then laying that back down sequentially, tailbone again, meeting the mat at the last. And then just follow your breath. Really think about creating space here, no crunching. We're creating heat and engagements in the glutes and the backs of the thighs, those hamstring muscles. And one more time, inhale, lifting to the highest height available to you right now. And exhale, that relaxing back down with control. Arriving, and then just relax the body. And open the arms, open the heart, coming more into goalpost arms or cactus arms. Inner knees together, outer edges of the feet towards outer edges of the mat. And just be soft for a moment. Take a deep belly breath. And one more inhalation through center. And then as you exhale, energetically drive the knees over to the right. And think about driving the left knee away from the left hip, engaging that buttock glute muscle, and keeping that pelvic tuck. So you're getting hopefully more of a stretch through this entire left side of the leg, maybe into the outer hip, maybe even into that side waist. Keeping that energetically engaged as you just soften the rest of the body. The right thigh down to the ground, or maybe it's supported by a prop. A couple more breaths. Keeping that tone of the legs, slowly draw the knees back through center, and here's where you can just relax the tone, relax the effort, rest for a moment. Take a deep belly breath. And then inhale, center. Exhale, again, we're driving the knees over to that left side. Keep extending through that right leg. Tuck through the tailbone, glutes, especially on the right side, more active. Left thigh relaxing to the earth. Keep that right leg, right glute actively engaged, driving that right knee away from the right hip. So if someone were to walk by, it wouldn't look like you were doing much, but there's a lot happening here, and the rest of the body doing its best to stay relaxed. Couple more breaths. And keeping that engagement. Draw the knees through center. Once you arrive with feet planted, then you can just relax through the body. Rest and soften. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees over to the right. Gaze to the left. Inhale, driving the knees through center. Exhale, knees to the left. Gaze over the right shoulder. Back and forth, following your breath. Taking your time. One more time from side to side. Coming back through center, and start to rest the inner knees against one another, heart open, head heavy. Again, just a nice deep belly breath here. Starting to separate the knees, keep that separation as you heel to toe the feet together until the soles of the feet can come together. Knees splay out. Think about driving the knees towards the earth. Make sure the knees feel safe. You can engage the pelvic floor a little bit. Keep driving the knees towards the earth. Start to engage the glutes. Keep pressing the soles of the feet together. With this engagement, see if you can lift the hips away from the earth. Inhale. And then exhale, soften the hips back down. As you lift the hips up on the inhalation, drive the knees down. And this is really subtle work. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Doesn't have to lift very high at all. It's more about the engagement and the intention. Those opposing movements. Hips lifting, knees driving towards the earth. One last time here, and then exhale, soften, just resting for a moment. Let the legs relax, the pelvis Soften, belly relaxed. Deep belly breath. Breath always reminding the body, the mind that all is well. Starting to relax the arms down. You can think about scooping, using the hands, driving the knees back through center. You might feel good here once again, drawing the knees into the chest. You can make circles. Circling the knees in one direction. Circle them in the opposite direction. And keeping the legs lifted, palm alongside the hips. Slowly start to extend the legs so the feet are skyward, and you can have soft knees here. Really reaching the toes beyond, the energy that's stretched beyond the toes. And then so start to flex through the feet. And again, it's like you're lifting the heels beyond the physical heel. So that stretch, reaching beyond, even with soft knees. Notice the core working, keep breathing. And then you're just going to continue to point, really reaching, flexing, make sure the pelvis is grounded. Pointing and flexing. And with a relaxed foot, just spread through the toes. Letting the toes relax. Actually point through the toes and extend the legs out wide. The hands can come to the inner edges of the legs. And we're going to reach beyond the toes with that wide-legged opening. Hands just comfortably resting on the thighs, encouraging more opening. A little bit of weight is happening here. So inhale, extend, and then exhale, just bend at the knees. Head is heavy, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, extending, reaching beyond the toes. We're engaging quads to make this happen, and then bending the knees, hamstrings, do that work. Inhale, even if you have soft knees, we're just extending, engaging the quads. The hip flexors are engaged here as well. And the next time you extend out, we're going to stay there. Hands either on the thighs or above the knees, never really on the knee joints. And keep the width of the legs and start to rock from side to side, so much so that you're tapping the pinky toe edges of the feet to the ground. But really keep the legs wide. You might need to move props out of your way. So one leg is going down, the other leg going in the opposite direction, as if it's still touching the earth on the other side. Another couple of rocks from side to side, keeping that width, that engagement of the legs. So really nice, slow, controlled movements of the body, that active stretching. Coming back to stillness, start to bend the knees. You can gather the knees with the hands, press them back together, plant the feet. Might feel good to do a full body stretch here. Arms stretch long, legs extend long, spread the fingers, spread the toes. You can take a nice big yawn. And then again, relaxing the arms alongside the body. Bending one knee, bend the other. Just a gentle rocking of the head once again from side to side. Noticing if anything's open for you. Just one more time. From side to side. Back through center. Take your time. You can start to roll to either side, curling more into a fetal position. And support your head with your arm, knees bent, belly soft. And then using arm strength, begin to press up with a rounded spine. The heavy head, it comes up last. So arriving here, Just coming through seated, cross-legged, crisscross applesauce, as they say. And starting to move the spine in a circular direction. You're also moving the ribs around the spine. So reaching the heart forward, moving the ribs to the side, and then rocking back. Just taking your time with these slow, controlled movements. As you're ready, start to circle in the opposite direction. Breathe. Notice where there might be some stickiness, maybe in the side waists, maybe in the back. Just observing this. And coming back through center, grow the spine tall, relax through the shoulders, so energetic lift all the way through the crown of the head. As you inhale, and then as you exhale, keeping that energetic lift, that lengthening of the spine. You can start to bring the shoulders into it. So as you inhale, draw the shoulders up with that lift and length. And then exhale, relax the shoulders, keep the spine tall. And then inhale, finding lift and length once again. You can draw shoulders up towards ears, and then exhale, tall spine, relaxing the shoulders. Just one more time like that. Maybe exhaling out through the mouth this last time. And then just starting to bow the head, rocking the head gently from side to side. Moving mindfully, moving slowly. Breathing. And the next time you rock the head over to the right, start to reach the left fingertips out towards the side. So active through the arm, active through the fingertips. You can start to rock the head forward and back. Breathing here. Relaxing through the jaw. And keeping that reach of the left arm, you can rotate the head down, gazing down, chin more towards the collarbone, maybe even reaching up with the right hand, right arm. Drawing the head down further, creating more of a stretch on that left side of the shoulder. Breathe, keeping the tall spine as much as you're able. One more breath. Relaxing the arms, swivel the head back through center, and just rocking back. As you rock back and lift through the legs, coming through boat pose, and then switching the cross of the legs, arching the spine, rocking back. We'll keep that cross of the legs, just a couple seated cat-cows here. And the next time you reach forward with that arch in the spine and open through the heart, just finding a tall spine once again, seated, grounded through sit bones, head is heavy, arms relaxed, spine tall. Rock the head slowly, gently from side to side. Rocking the head over to that left side. You can reach the right fingertips away from you, drawing the right shoulder down. Keeping that actively reaching, rock the head forward and back. And check in with the rest of the body. You're fully supporting yourself as much as you're able. Keeping the connection of the mind on the breath and sensation. One more time, rock the head back and changing the head position, chin more towards the collarbone, gazing down, keeping that right arm reaching. Breathing, you can reach up with the left hand, bring it more towards the back of the head. Just exploring this on your own. One more breath. Arms relaxed, head is heavy, chin centered over the chest. And then just slowly start to lift the gaze, lift the chin. Big nods, yes. Bow the head heavy, almost like the top, the crown of the head could come into the belly. And as you lift the gaze, it's like the chin is lifting skyward, but you're also lengthening through the back of the neck as well. Keeping that lift, you can start to open and close the mouth. Bring the gaze forward, the neck is neutral. Begin to swivel the head from side to side. So coming into that full range of motion for the neck today. One more time, from side to side. Making your way back through center. You can start to rock back and extend the legs out. You don't have to go as wide as you can go, just wider than hip width apart. And again, we can flex and point through feet, waking up the extremities even more. Starting to check in with the backs of the legs, so feeling that stretch in the calves and in the hamstrings. And then keep the legs active, tone through the quads, drive the legs towards the earth, and then just start to sway the torso gently from side to side. Keeping the sit bones grounding here. Just moving, flowing like water. Nice and slow and fluid. Just another sway gently from side to side. Back through center. Bringing the soles of the feet together. And take hold of the feet, of the ankles, of the shins, does not matter. As you drive the spine tall, also draw the knees towards the earth, reach the heart forward. But finding softness here as well. 3 more breaths. And then taking hold of the big toe with the first 2 fingers and the thumb of that left leg, left foot. Start to extend that left leg out as much as you can. Maybe inhale here, exhale, rebending through the knee. Each time, engage that quad even more without forcing. Maybe start to come into more of a straight leg position. Sit bones grounding, trying our hardest not to rock too much over to the right side. And then the next time you extend that leg out, just pause, really tone through the leg, hip flexors working, and as you release that leg, does it stay? And then start to release all the way down to the mat. Sole of that right foot into the inner thigh as you drive the right thigh down, left hand alongside the outstretched leg, and reach the right shoulder forward. So the intention here is to get a side body stretch as well as a hamstring stretch. You can flex through the foot even more to achieve that. Toning that left quad. 3 deep breaths here. Keep lengthening the spine out of the hips. Make sure there's no strain in the neck. 1 more breath. Using core strength, and rise back through center. You're just going to rebend that left knee. Soles of the feet coming together, tall spine, drive the knees down, reach the heart forward, tall spine. Just relax through the face. 1 more breath. You can take hold of that big toe, the right foot. Slightly rock over to the left just to free up that leg, extend it out. So feel the power of the right leg, rebend through the knee. You can also use a strap here. Just extending, rebending. Finding that extension, once again, power through the quad, power through the hip flexor. Does the leg stay when you release it? And then slowly with control, the leg descends to the earth. The sole of the left foot to the inner thigh. Right hand alongside the leg. Left hand presses the thigh down. And you're rotating, twisting forward like that left shoulder could touch the right toes one day. And have a slight arch in the spine, but make sure there's no strain in the neck. Just breathe. Flex through the foot more here, getting more of that stretch through the back of the leg, the calf muscle. 3 more breaths here. Keep lengthening, keep lifting the spine out of the hips that are grounding. 1 more breath. Take your time to rise with control and strength in the core. And from here, we're just bending both knees. Excuse me. Make your way into a tabletop position. So however you arrive there, spread through the fingers, wrists below the shoulders, knees supporting the hips, maybe a little wider. Head is heavy for a moment. You can gently sway the head from side to side, opening the neck. Arriving back through center, start to circle the hips clockwise or counterclockwise. It's as much for the hips as it is for strengthening in the wrists. So notice as you shift forward, all that power going into the hands, into the fingers. So we're strengthening that ability to hold weight. Circling in the opposite direction. Think about coming into the width of your hips from side to side as you circle. Just 1 more time. Coming back through center, coming through a couple cat-cows. So as you inhale, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, open the heart. As you exhale, actively round the spine, pressing the mat away. Inhale. Open the heart, lengthen. Exhale, rounding. And 1 more time, inhaling. And as you exhale and round the spine, start to press the mat away, sinking your hips back to your heels. Find your child's pose. You can relax the forehead to something, maybe to stacked hands or fists, maybe to the earth. Breathe. Taking 1 more breath here. Starting to draw the palms under the shoulders. And we're just going to find blocks. So you can place your 2 blocks at the highest height, at the top of the mat. So finding your down dog from here, lifting hips up and back. A moment to pedal out through feet. You can bend one knee, ground the opposite heel, keep pressing the mat away. Bend the other knee, ground that opposite heel. You can play with the lengthening through that leg. Just a few more times like that. Keeping the spine tall, head heavy. Breathing. And then step the feet so that the inner big toes touch. And you're going to lift that left heel. Toes are down towards the earth. The hips stay squared. One more inhalation. Press the mat away and then hollow out the belly as you round the spine. And draw that left foot forward, reaching for the blocks, finding a lunge here. So the back heel is lifted. You're powerful through that back glute, so you're actively lengthening through that leg. And just a moment to shift forward and back. So feet are about hip distance apart. Really toning through the core. And then pausing for a moment. Feeling that hip flexor stretch, you can lower the hips down a little bit more, but keep that right leg active. Just one more breath. You move the blocks off to the side, framing that front foot, sweep it back, we're in plank. You can shift forward, inhale, maybe flowing through the knees as you exhale. Lower down. Inhaling, cobra, really lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders away from ears, exhale to release back down. Another inhalation, lifting. Curl toes under, lift hips up and back to down dog. Inner big toes touch. Inhale the right leg, lift it. Press the mat away, square the hips. One more inhalation, preparing. And then exhale, shifting forward, hollow out the belly, plant the foot, grab the blocks, framing that front foot with the blocks. Spread the toes. Feet hip distance, start to rock forward and back, start to actively engage that left glute. Really lengthen through that left leg. Tone through the core, finding stillness, and just breathe here. Think about legs hugging towards the midline of the body. One more breath. Blocks out of the way, framing that front foot, step it back to plank. And we can play with our planks. You can lower the right shin to the earth, kickstand the right toes out, coming into a variation of side plank. You can be here. You can stack the feet one on top of the other or side to side. Right foot in front or back, does not matter. One more inhalation. Exhale back through plank. Doing the other side, left shin down, kickstand the foot, extend that right leg, extend the right arm. Once you feel stable, again, maybe stacking the feet, either on top of each other or one in front of the other, does not matter. One more inhalation in your side plank. Exhale, back to plank. Preparing as you inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down, maybe through the knees. We don't want to sway in the low back here. Then inhale to cobra. Exhale, releasing down. We want length as much as we want lift. Inhale, finding that length. Shoulders away from ears, exhale. The next time you lift up, just come into Sphinx. So you can slide the forearms forward, elbows below the shoulders, reach the heart forward. Really lengthen through the spine. And breathe. Very active in this pose, collarbones spreading. One more breath. And coming into a nice chest pectoral stretch. You can start to extend the right arm out, keep the elbow bent, press the left palm into the earth, rocking onto that right side of the body. You can stack the legs here. You can reach that top leg away from you or even bend the knee, plant the sole of the foot behind the bottom leg. Make sure this isn't too much of a stretch. You can always extend the arm if need be. Just one more breath. Lengthen out through both legs. Rock back onto the belly. Extend that left arm to the side with a bent elbow. Rock to the left side. Right palm pressing into the earth. Give yourself lots of space here. Head is heavy. Can keep that top leg long or bend the knee. Just breathe. One more breath. And take your time coming back through center. Propping yourself up back in Sphinx pose. From here you can start to bend one knee and then bend the other. Just alternating bending. Think about the heel as if it could touch your butt. Really engaging the glutes and engaging the hamstrings. So just kind of waking those up even more. One more time. Bending, extending. And as you relax the legs, relax the forehead to the earth or maybe opposite cheek. And make it a little pillow with the hands. Inner big toes can touch. Heels splay out. You can wiggle the hips a little from side to side if you need some more release for the low back. You can also bend the knees and sway the legs. And then just sending the legs long. From here, you'll reach for your strap. Forehead to the earth. Bring the strap back behind you. Taking hold of this strap, the hands as close as is comfortable for the arms, for the shoulders. And punch the knuckles away from you towards the heels. Lengthen through the legs. As you inhale, lift the heart. Lift the arms away from the back body. Lift the legs. And as you exhale, everything can relax back down. Soften. Breathe. And then inhale. Lengthening to lift. Exhale, forehead relaxing. Soften the shoulders. Take a breath. And do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Really reaching long, gazing down. Float the arms away from the glutes and then exhale. This time you can bend the elbows, rest the opposite cheek, inner big toes touch. Same thing, you can wiggle out through hips. You can sway the knees, sway the legs. Send the legs long. Palms under the shoulders. Think about rounding the spine. As you press the mat away, we're flowing through the knees. You can move the strap out of the way. Keep rounding the spine. Sink the hips to the heels. Just finding your child's pose. 3 deep breaths. Stretching long through the arms, elbows lift. Lift the head. Lift the hips up and back. Curl toes under, down dog. You can start to pedal out through the feet. You can sway the hips a little from side to side. Anything that feels good here. Reset. Back through center, inner big toes touch. Left heel lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it through. You can use your blocks or just bring your hands to your thigh, still engaging the right glute. So that cobra energy and that locust energy that we just did with belly to earth work, we're going to use that here to strengthen and lengthen. Arms can come away. Fingers can reach down, it doesn't matter. Or maybe goalpost arms, cactus arms, or uplifted arms, uplifted gaze. There should be no strain in the back. Foundation is strong. Think about lifting the spine tall out of the hips. One more inhalation. Exhale, you're framing that front foot. Let's do a twist here. So the right hand just to the inside of the big toe. Left hand presses into the outer thigh. Spiral through the spine. If it feels good, you can sweep that left arm down, back and up. Coming into that twist. One more inhalation. As you exhale, frame the foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe with a hover this time. Inhale, up dog if you're in your hover, otherwise cobra. And then exhale, press back to down dog. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step it through. Blocks here or the thigh, does not matter. Engage the glutes, set the foundation. Really strong. Arms can come away in any position, any direction that feels like a joyful practice for you. Finding that just right challenge. Hips squaring forward. Breathing. Make sure the toes aren't gripping. One more inhalation, and then exhale. Reach long through the spine, left hand to the earth, right arm continues that sweeping down, back and up. Open the heart, twist. Core is active, legs are active. One more, inhalation. Exhale to frame the foot, step it back. You can vinyasa, or rest in child's pose. Inhale, preparing. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog if you're flowing. And pedal it out. Breathe. Maybe a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Finding stillness. One more breath. And then knees come to the earth. Untuck the toes, round the spine, sinking back to your child's pose. One more breath. And start to press the palms under the shoulders, come to seated on your shins. It's just for a moment. And start to shift your hips to one side. Draw the legs out, making sure there's plenty of room back behind you on your mat. You can bend your knees, plant your feet. Hands to the backs of the thighs, grow the spine tall. You can rock back here. With feet planted, maybe shins parallel, maybe arms parallel. Either way, slowly, with control, starting to make your way onto your back. As you arrive, draw the knees into the chest. You can extend your arms out to a T alongside the body. Inhale, center. And then exhale, the legs are over to the right. Gazing over the left shoulder. And you can always have something between the legs if you need it. Just softening, melting here. breathing. One more breath. Take your time, drawing the knees through center, inhale, and then exhale, knees over to the left, gazing over that right shoulder. Relax through the body. One more breath. Starting to draw the knees back through center. You can hug them into the chest, start to rock from side to side. Or it may feel good to come into a happy baby. So you can reach for pinky toe edges of feet, a deep bend in the knees with the feet skyward. Head heavy, shoulders relaxed. One more breath. Releasing the legs. Let them go long. Arms alongside the body, shoulders away from ears. Support yourself as you need with props. Make sure you're warm enough, calming the nervous system as well. And giving yourself this permission to close the eyes and simply rest. Begin to deepen your breath as you reawaken your body with movement. Moving fingers, moving toes, ankles, wrists. You can open and close the mouth as you yawn, stretching arms overhead. Full body stretch. Bending one knee, bend the other, feet planting. Take your time, rolling gently to either side, curling into a fetal position. Recalling your intention that you set, you can take that with you, or something new. With closed eyes or a soft gaze, use arm strength, take your time, pressing up to seated with a rounded spine and a heavy head. Rooting down through sit bones as you grow the spine tall, bring hands to the heart. Just a moment to acknowledge this practice and yourself with a grateful heart. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day.